Hello, Caveman News listeners. It's Cinderoni with an astrology update. So on March 30th, Neptune transitioned from about a 14-year period of being in Pisces, and now Neptune is in Aries. So I'll keep it pretty simple and just say that now everybody should be feeling a shift where we can all settle into who we really are. We know who we are. We're not afraid to be that person. We're confident. We're not holding ourselves back. Fearless. Aries is fearless. So this is a great time for the next 14 years to invest in yourself because you can do it. Thanks.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We've done this 67 times. It's been a long road. But let's mosey a bit forward. It's episode 68. The best episode. Hello. Thank you, everybody. Hang on. There was something in the chat that oh my god, there's a lot in the chat. Okay. I think everything is good. Things got a bit confusing there for a moment, but rest assured that is all taken care of. You can rest. This is the best. As, of course, mandated by our network, Cave TV. I'm not exactly sure what this episode entails, but one of the Cave TV executives dropped these off for me earlier, a whole thing of index cards that they've prepared because they decided what this show should be, and I'm just along for the ride tonight. I do have some things that I want to address right off the bat, of course. I can't fully give over control to Cave TV as much as I would. I was going to say as much as I would love to, but that's ridiculous. I would not love to give control of this show over to anyone. Let's see, I did that. Oh, yeah, see? Here's the thing, I always forget to put on my light, so I look at that. Now I am ready to begin presenting this best episode. And right off the bat, thank you, Cindy, for that astrology update. I'm really looking forward to the next 14 years. I've told you that I I don't know much about astrology. That's not a strength of mine. I'm more of a numerology number type of guy, but according to the numbers that I foresee, we are headed towards great a great period in all of our lives. So I'm very I'm very happy for that. Thank you, Soy Teresa. I am a glow. I think I have things a bit better organized here, and I don't have to be as leaning down, but I still do kind of have to lean down to see the chat. Is there anything else I want to? Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, I do want to say right off the bat, I checked in with YouTube today. I always forget. I went because I was looking for recent videos from Carlsbad, New Mexico that were posted this week because I love to do that, to stay up to date with what is on the minds and the wills of the people this week. And there wasn't much of interest uploaded this week about Carlsbad, New Mexico. Soy Teresa is an Enneagram 6. And I forget exactly what I am, but I don't think it's 6 because I would have remembered that. But what can you do? Anyway, I was checking in at YouTube and we had a little notification. And I want to address a comment that was left on our last episode by somebody named at Jim Baker 4181. And they said Killer Coco shirt in reference to my Cocapelli shirt from last week. So thank you, Jim Baker 4181, whoever you are. I do enjoy that shirt. It's a good one. All of a sudden I got these burps, but what can you do? Another thing I wanted to address right off the top, speaking of searching for Carlsbad, New Mexico, I went to Blue Sky. I've been keeping my eye on that and looking at people's mentions of Carlsbad, New Mexico, and I saw something recently. Somebody it was a response to a skeet that somebody posted talking about the movie Newsies and how it revolutionized them as a young child and made them fall in love with unions and working together in class solidarity and things like this. I thought that was very beautiful. But then somebody commented on it, some old man, and he said he hates unions because in 1960 he lived through firebombing by Union people, potash miners in Carlsbad, New Mexico in 1960. That's why it came up on my search. And I've seen this old man make this. Maybe it's disparaging to call him an old man, but I mean, he's talking about memories of 1960, and that's old to me. But I've seen him make this claim about the fire bombings by Union people, and I wrote him a message back, and I said, hey, we do this show, Caveman News. We discuss Carlsbad history, and I would really like to learn more about what you're talking about, because we sit there and we crawl through the newspaper archives every week and look for interesting things, and I have searched for any mention of this Union firebombing that you're speaking of. And can you give me any more details so I can find reporting on it and bring it up on the show? And it seems that man has ignored my request. So just letting you know, I'll keep you posted if he ever comes back and tells us about this awful Union firebombing in 1960. I am doubtful about the veracity of his claims, but I mean, that's just me. Yeah. As Sweet Teresa says, I think I know him. Depends on how his name is spelled. It's Jem Baker. That could be. I don't know. That sounds familiar to me, but the Jim Baker I know is just named Jim Baker, not Jim Baker 4181. So maybe it's a different guy. Who knows? Is there anything else that I need to get to? No, I'm not going to discuss that. I'm not going to discuss that. Oh, did I don't think I can't tell if the light is on here. Okay, I think I turned that off so that we don't get buzzing. Let's start the show. Why don't we hit the start the show drop? Oh my gosh, and why would that not be showing up? I double checked everything, and why? Okay, hang on. I'm gonna manually do this really quick. I don't know why my system does this all the time. You know which one I want you to play. Hang on, let me get my magnifying glass. Okay, that should take care of it. For some reason, my buttons default, and I don't ask them to, so it should be set now. I should hit the button, and everything should be fine. No. Okay, hey. Cave TV, you said this is going to be the best episode. I hope you have something good in mind, because I can't even play my start the show clip. It's, if you're new to the show, it's a little clip where producer Nico comes on and she says that if she was in the chat, she would be saying start the show, so we should start the show. And it'd be very convenient if I played that.
Let's get this started.
Why am I not hearing? What is going on? Okay, I can hear that. Can people in the chat, can you let me know if you heard that? Maybe. Okay, you heard that. So maybe my headphones got unplugged somewhere. Maybe I stepped on them. I don't know. Whatever. We're beyond it. We're moving on with life. Thank you, Dog Treat General. And why don't we go ahead and hit this?
Woof, woof. At ease, soldier. It's the Dog Treat General.
I heard that one. Beautiful. Okay, skateboard's up there. If I feel the calling, I will be riding that into the night, but probably not. It's just nice to know that I have the availability to do that. We should start this show. Okay, I've got these index cards. It's a thick stack that the wonderful people at Cave TV have prepared for me, and I want to figure out what it is. This is the best episode. They said, okay, next week you have to do the best episode, so I agree. I think we're off to a bit of a rough start. There's been some technical malfunctions and things like this, but maybe the topic will save the episode. Let's start off with our first one. Okay. This says 1971. Ted Best will present one of his music students, Miss Barbara Stanley, in a musicale. Sunday, February 14th. Okay, so this is what you guys were talking about. It's an episode about a man named Best. I thought this was okay. Whatever. Very funny. I hope that there's more to this man than just the name Best. Only one way to find out. It's to hit the second button here. And this is 1956. Okay, we're still on Mercury retrograde. Cave TV, you're off the hook. Mercury retrograde is at fault. It's not you guys. So, at ease. Let's start this off. Oh yeah, Soy Teresa's stove says power failure. And so does mine. Well, mine doesn't say power failure, it says PF, but I do feel your pain, Soy Teresa. Okay. 1956, didn't it say? Yes. Okay, December 9th, 1956. Let's hear about this music teacher, I guess? Oh, wow. That's pretty neat. He's got a little drawing of some kind. A section of the night sky, all mapped out for orderly study, is checked by Ted R. Best in his study before he trains his 12-inch telescope on a distant planet. Beautiful. I think that was a good throw, too. What does this say? Check out the dome on this guy. Let me see. Yeah, he's got a nice dome. That's pretty big. It's an ample dome. Okay, we got button number 3. Okay, possibility of lunar pipeline studied by local astronomer. Wow. Okay. Lunar pipeline. That is it. What? This is a lunar pipeline. Absolutely. I agree. What may be a new and heretofore unreported lunar discovery, a giant pipeline has been spotted by a Carlsbad music teacher. Wow. Okay, I was taught some music by Carlsbad music teachers in my youth, and I don't think any of my music teachers ever discovered a lunar pipeline. And Dogtree General says Ted Best looking for retrograding Mercury and moon bases. Hey, Baxter says Mr. Sondheimer. I think, wow, Baxter, were you and I in the same choir talking with Mr. Sondheimer? Golly, all of a sudden I'm having a huge flashback to thinking it was very funny. This was probably 6th grade, thinking it was hilarious to answer every question Mr. Sondheimer asked with Brooklyn Bridge as a default answer. And I think we even found his phone number at one point and called him and left the message Brooklyn Bridge on his answering machine. I hope he's doing great. Who is one of 20 men in the world to hold a doctor's degree in Scientology? What the? Okay, this is 1956. So, from my recollection, Dianetics, the precursor to Scientology, only came out in like 1954 or something like that. Yeah, Baxter says we did, and I hope so too, in regards to calling Mr. Sondheimer and saying Brooklyn Bridge. That was very funny. But getting on to Mr. Ted R. Best, only one of 120 men in the world to hold a doctor's degree in Scientology, that is so cool. I wish I had a doctor's degree in Scientology. But, I mean, who better to discover a pipeline on the moon than a Scientologist, one of the preeminent Scientologists and leading Scientologists. Where are we at? We did this one right? Yes. Okay. Ted Best discovered what appeared to be a huge pipeline running from one of the cliffs off the edge of the Sea of Serenity on the moon outward into the plain and disappearing into a small black crater. Wow, I would be aghast if I saw that in my 12-inch microscope. 12-inch microscope, or 12-inch telescope, doesn't sound that big to me, but maybe I'm just built different. I think I would go at least 13-inch. Yeah, Soy Teresa says, what's in the pipes? Truly. Yeah, maybe Dog Treat General, maybe it is moon cheese. Let's find out. Let's see if I can remember what button I'm at. Is this right? No. That's not right at all. I think I hit the wrong one. I jumped ahead. Ooh. Okay, yeah, I got the right one. Best roughly estimated that the gigantic pipeline to be some 150 miles in length and 2 miles in diameter with no visible means of support. We gotta support these moon pipes. Here we go. The sunlight could be seen casting light beneath the huge tube and a shadow out the side. Okay. We're gonna have to get this going. Current Argus, the side. That's a big mistake, and I await your apology. We have the phone line is open. I would hit the phone button, but for some reason everything is out of sorts tonight. So we await your apology, Current Argus. Oh. Soy Teresa says it definitely says too. Okay, so maybe that's my apology to make. I don't, or actually it's not, because I did not prepare these index cards as has been established canonically. These were given to me by an executive at Cave TV. It was the cute one, and so they must have written it down wrong. So far, Best has heard no other report of any such existing structure, and I haven't heard about it since then. This is, what, are we talking 80 years ago? Yeah, maybe it was the Current Argus. What do we, Dog Treat General says, who up casting shadows the side of their huge tube? And speaking of tubes, associate producer Cobra the Cat, who loves tubes. He's a big tube head. He is not at his normal place right here on the bed of the studio. So I have my mirror here to catch footage of him supervising this show, but he's not here tonight. This really might not be, I was going to say this might not be the best episode, but I'm into this story. I want to hear more about Ted R. Best. Let me get the next card that was issued to me by Cave TV. Oh, wait, I grabbed 2 cards. I don't want to do that. All right, And I think I remember that this is the button that I should press. Yeah, okay. Best began observing the new moon when it appeared, and last month and made the discovery on the 8th day. On the 8th day, on the first day of the first quarter, with a homemade 12-inch telescope. I don't know if it said that initially. That was a good throw. That it's this homemade 12-inch telescope. I keep wanting to say microscope, and that's not. Okay, Soy Teresa says Cobra's not in her office. I think he's keeping Trush over the studio. Yeah, it could be. He does like to stand guard and make sure that no bugs or water attack us, and we're grateful for that. Hang on. I did see, credit to Soy Teresa, she showed me on Instagram a video where somebody called their cat by making a certain noise. So I'm going to make the noise and see if he comes. Meh-ah! Meh-ah! Cobra! Meh-ah! I don't hear his jingle bells, so maybe that failed. Let's go on. Okay, we're on to the next page. Let me see here. Let me make sure this is the right one. No, that's not it. Okay. I think these cards were a good idea, but let me see. Okay. I'm trying to avoid having to get close to that. Wow, okay. That's not at all what my cards say. So, oh boy, I think I'm off count on my cards, so I'm going to have to get close here. Astronomical observation is only one facet of many scientific fields holding the interest of the versatile Best, who became a music instructor in 1928. Okay, I think I see what's wrong here. No? Okay. Alright. I am completely off track with this. Okay, here we go. I'm on track. He credits some significance to his observation as Fate magazine carried an article in August of a bridge structure in the Sea of Crisis, which is not far distant from the Sea of Serenity. That is very cool to me. I wish we had a Sea of Crisis somewhere nearby. That's beautiful. I want to vacation in the Sea of Crisis. That sounds right up my alley. And I think I should not have thrown that last card. I think that had further information on it. Let me see. Okay, that's not it. Is this one it? Okay, no. We're good. This is very hard to keep track of. But I do think the system of these cards, thank you executives at Cave TV, I think this is a new way to do it. I don't have to have the text all huge so that I can read it. I think this is working out great. This really is the best episode. Okay, this should be correct. Let's see if it looks right. All right. Reflecting on his astronomical studies, Best, who teaches every type of musical instrument, explained that there was a tremendous amount of activity discovered on the moon. Very cool. Not only the discovering a tremendous amount of activity, I wonder why things seem to have gone fallow in the last few decades, but it sounds like they were really popping off in the 50s. But also, I do think it's very cool that Mr. Ted R. Best was able to teach every musical instrument. That's incredible. What year is it? I wonder if he's still out there. Can we get a hold of Ted R. Best and get him on Caveman News? Now that's a guest I would the best guest. I would love to interview this man. Okay, we're good on that one. And boom. In the vicinity of these two areas, in the manner of lights, moving objects, and what appeared to be a terrific explosion. Boom! Moon explosions. That would be incredible to behold. I feel like I'm saying that too much. I'm saying, wow, I wish I could have seen that. Wow, that was incredible to see. I can imagine what it'd be like, but despite being a broken record and how exhausting that can be for people to hear me, I find it hard not to say that every time because I'm completely blown away by... Okay, was that the right thing that I just read? I didn't even check. Let me make sure. I think I'm way off. Okay. Wow. Ted Best died in 79? Well, thank you, Brother Binks. Now, where am I? How are my cards so far off? This one should start with best completed. Huh. Okay. Alright, here we go. Best completed his new telescope about 6 weeks ago and constructed an equatorial mounting design so that it can be moved around the arc of an ecliptic. Soy Teresa says, we're still getting the juicy details. And beautiful. I'm getting good at these throws. It cannot be overstated. I may be making some mistakes, losing my place, what I am saying, and having it match up with what we're showing. But you cannot deny I'm getting really good at throwing these cards. And I am proud of this. Oh, hang on. Is this still... With only one motion involved after it is set. Okay, so he has this equatorial mounting that he made for his homemade telescope. That is ingenious. And it's only one motion involved after it is set. Dog Tree General says, sometimes when you throw the cards, I flinch. Lol. Oh, that's good. That's what we're looking for. This is what we seek. This is the result that we seek. Lower power observations give better and clearer views, and the higher... Hold on, next one. Powers give closer but more blurred vision. Hey, I know what that's like. The semi-portable telescope and mounting can be rolled in and out of the building. I think that's it for there. Yeah. The tube of the new instrument is 14 inches in diameter and 11 feet long. A 6-foot platform is required. That rules. See, when they said it was a 12-inch, that was a good one. When they said it was a 12-inch telescope, I was really, I thought that did not sound impressive to me. Cobra just walked into the room. Let's see if he has not gotten up on the bed yet, but let's see if I can catch him. Okay. I see his tube. There we go. Hi, Cobra. He's gonna love it when he sees me throwing these cards. He's already trying to read my index cards on the ground. Cinderoni says, Cobra Bear. That's you, fool. Alright. It is not easy to obtain an instrument of this size. Best waited 3 months for the lens to be ground. That size is not carried in stock by any company he contacted. He's breaking ground. He's not only a preeminent and early Scientologist, a doctor of Scientology, mind you. He's finding these pipelines and explosions on the moon, and he's also having his mirrors and lenses for his telescopes that he makes at home specially ground. And yeah, Dog Treat General says, oh, the lens is 12 inches. And yeah, see, that's what I didn't pick up at first. I was like, oh, it's a 12-inch telescope? That's nothing. I've looked through bigger than that. Believe me. But what they mean is a 12-inch wide lens. And that's more impressive to me. Okay. Let's see if I'm in the right spot. Soy Teresa says, yeah, I thought it was like a paper towel, like, paper towel tube situation. And so did I initially, but I've been taught the error of my ways. More huge tubes. And before we move on, hang on, oh my gosh, I have no idea which button I just pressed, but I do have to. Cobra has claimed one of my index cards. And I just wanted to get a shot. That's the end of one of his tubes. He has very long tubes. He is a tube guy. Okay. Now, I'm going to have to get close so I can see exactly. My next card starts with using his own. Okay, let's see. No, that's not it. Let's do this one. Yeah. Here we go. Using his own plans, Best constructed the mounted telescope with the assistance of Carlsbad sheet metal shop and ordered only the specially ground lens, mirrors, and optics. I'm going to throw this one so that it goes towards Cobra. That didn't work, but he was still very fascinated with it. He's a chaotic boy. He's about to get into his tube. I think I'm picking up 2 cards at a time sometimes. I gotta figure out how to make that work. Okay. Mysteries of the unique cease to be mysteries. Oh wait, no. I didn't want to read that yet. There's the telescope. The 12-inch lenses on that thing, constructed, planned out by the man Ted R. Best. I love that. It would be incredible to gaze through that. Thank you for your service, Mr. Best. And this is the caption on that photo. Mysteries of the universe cease to be mysteries when Ted Arbest, Carlsbad music instructor, trains his 12-inch telescope on a given star cluster or planet. The scope is mounted on an equatorial semi-portable mounting. I could move that thing. I feel strong enough. The scope? No, man, why is it? I'm getting so off track. Oh. Yeah, okay, the scope is moved on an equatorial semi-portable mounting. Yes. And that was... Ooh, boy. Mysteries of the universe. Okay. Astronomical observation is one facet of many scientific fields holding... Oh, boy, I dropped all my cards. I think I have them in the right order, though. Holding the interest of the versatile Best, who became a music instructor in 1928. I feel like we discussed that. Maybe the executives here at Cave TV messed up the structuring of this episode, but I'm not going to fault them. Love the network, and I think this is a great topic. It's just kind of getting a little bit out of order, but I don't blame them. Okay. Oh. Who became a music teacher? Alright, this is... I am way off base. How does this one start? Best had an insatiable desire to gain as broad as possible a knowledge about science since he was 15 years of age. I had that same desire, but you know what? I did not have the great success of this man. I wish that I did. I have never discovered any lunar activity, no pipelines, nothing. I've discovered some explosions, but I don't think I should get too deep into that right now. Let's leave my explosive history a mystery. Okay. Studying the planets and stars has held his interest for years. More than a year ago, he constructed a telescope with a 4-inch lens, which only led to greater curiosity. At the age of 16, he became interested in the occult, which opened up an entire new field of intrigue to the mind. That is beautiful. Carlsbad, you've done it again. You have raised a true hero. We have a lot of great people that we've met studying the history of Carlsbad, and I'm going to say it right now. Mr. Ted Arbest is in the... Is it Pantheon? Yes, he's in the Carlsbad Pantheon. Subsequently, he became increasingly interested in astronomy from philosophy, scientific, and psychic fields. I had a... Cobra liked that one. Does it start with recently? Yeah. Recently, he completed and placed on the market under international copyright a course of study, The Road to Ruin, and How to Avoid It. Why have I not read this book? And maybe if people had... Is it called a book? It's a course of study. Okay, he copyrighted this course of study. Either way, if only the world had heeded the Road to Ruin and How to Avoid It by Ted R. Best, I think we'd be in a better place. Cora loves this newfound way of doing the show with 1,000,000 index cards. It really suits his interests. So we have his attention. He attended Drake University for a time and later began the study of Scientology under L. Ron Hubbard, and founder and originator of Dianetics, and became a researcher of the same field. So he's not just a doctor of Scientology, he studied under the man himself, L. Ron Hubbard. That is, jeez. I wonder if we could ever, it would be a dream to find some connection between L. Ron Hubbard and Carlsbad, because we don't discuss anything on this show unless it ties directly to Carlsbad. So, given the excuse, it would be amazing to be able to delve deep into L. Ron Hubbard and the fascinating life that man lived. Best plans to spend about a year observing the universe with the Big One, but in the meantime feels it is possible he has discovered an unannounced item on the moon and is trying to get it under observation again to make sure. And that is that article about the, let me see, oh, hang on, I'm trying to check the time to make sure we don't get, okay, it's 9:52. Golly, I have some more cards. I'm just gonna start going through them. So he lost the tube. No, he didn't lose the tube, or he lost the pipeline. Yes, that's what you mean by tube. I was thinking tube as in telescope, because his telescope does look like a big tube. You understand my confusion, I'm sure. Okay. Here we go. Carlsbad Current Argus, December 18th, 1956. This is, of course, page 1 material. Moon Observer. Okay, I am way off base. Let's see, okay. Alright, Ted Best, local astronomer, failed to locate what appeared to be a pipeline in the Sea of Serenity on the moon at the last full quarter, but will try again next quarter. And he should. Keep it up. Don't stop, Dr. Best. His enthusiasm over the prospect of a new discovery has not waned. And it shouldn't. December 20th, 1956. Moonshine Pipeline. A Dallas newspaper treated Ted Best's lunar pipeline discovery like this. Okay. They better respect Mr. Best. This is Carlsbad legend material. I really hope that they are treating his discovery with respect and everything. Here we are. This is, spoiler, we are in the 2020s, and nobody is really talking about Ted R. Best and his discovery, and it's kind of disheartening that the world has moved on beyond him and not giving him the accolades and the flowers that he deserves. That's pretty sad, and I'm going to be crying about this later, I'm sure. But I do hope that the Dallas the Dallas newspaper treated him correctly. Let's find out. A Carlsbad, New Mexico amateur astronomer, Ted R. Best, reports that he has sighted a 150-mile-long pipeline on the surface of the moon. He did. He did sight that. Do not doubt the man. This should interest Texas oil field equipment people. If they have any pipelines on the moon, they can benefit as earthbound creatures. They can benefit us earthbound creatures immeasurably. Any way to empty the crisis in favor of serenity is worth a try on this strife-torn planet. Absolutely. Carlsbad is... Oh my god, Cobra is really loving this downfall of index cards that are falling all around him. Hey, hang on. Say hi real quick. Ooh, I almost knocked everything over. Cobra, say hi. Okay. Oh, you okay? Oh my gosh. I'm sorry I didn't mean to make you scream like that, but thank you for having your input. He did it. He did say hi. What a guy. Wait. Okay, yeah. See, automatically, right away, the first thing the oil industry thinks of is how to profit off of the discovery of Ted R. Best. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Carlsbad has become such a huge oil town in the last few decades. Maybe Ted Best shared some of the secrets of the lunar people's pipelines. Could be. May 2nd, 1960. Object in sky. A number of local residents sighted an unidentified object hanging south of the moon. That was not a good throw, but what do they... I assume they mean south of the moon, as in it was just below the moon, but that's not really south. Okay, south of the moon, late Sunday. Some of them... knowing Ted Best as an amateur astrologist? Does it actually say astrologist? Yeah, astrologist. He's not an astrologist. Cinderoni is an astrologist. There's a difference between astrology and astronomy. Current Argus, I think you have once again messed up, and I don't want to hit my apology button again, because last time I hit it, it turned out to be my mistake, and I don't want to apologize again on the off chance that this is possibly my mistake as well. At first, it appeared to be a satellite with an antenna type appendage. However, Best and a dozen or so who observed the object through his scopes concluded it was some sort of balloon bearing instruments. Cinderoni says, lol, maybe when Ted Best got into the occult, he got interested in astrology. I am sure of this. Okay, let's start with a box-like... Yeah, a box-like instrument hanging below the pear-shaped object made 3 complete revolutions from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So do they mean that the box-like object was just spinning? Or That must be what they mean. Oh my gosh, we're just at our deadline. It is an hour, and we are down to our last card. The unidentified object must have been plenty high, as it reflected the brilliant sun's rays an hour after sunset. And I would love to learn more about this. Further discovery by Ted R. Best. He is one of our greats. It's beautiful. I think we should close out the show because that is it worked out perfectly. I must admit, we're doing the best episode, and we get through this long story, intricate story with many twists and turns right when we hit an hour, right when it's 10 o'clock here in New Mexico. That's beautiful. Now, okay. Alright, yeah, I know how to close this thing out. We need our lyric of the week. And this week, our lyric comes from the Teenage Burritos with their song, Danya. And the lyric of the week is... Wait, hang on, let me think of it. I'm trying to remember the song. You called a bomb. I remember when you called a bomb threat into school. You got caught, and I thought that you were cool. Sitting in my parking lot, thinking to myself, what a man. Sirens in the street and sirens in my heart are calling Danya. So, beautiful. What a man. Yeah, I love that song. You should listen to it. It's beautiful. I wish I could play music here on Twitch, because it's not like I'm trying to take money out of the artist's pockets or anything like that. I would credit exactly the music I'm playing. I would steer people to where they can purchase the music and things like that. I would be a very honest man. I don't understand it, but if I do play the music, I will get in trouble and be kicked off eventually. So we're not doing that. That is the lyric of the week. We need to invite a guest. And I would say, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but they just dropped the trailer for season 2 of The Rehearsal on HBO. And the guest I would like to invite is I forget his name, but the man from the season 1, episode 1 of The Rehearsal. The guy who was really into trivia. He is hereby invited to come on to Caveman News. We would welcome him, and it would be an honor. Okay, I'm rambling too much. This has been a wild episode. I have a huge mess of index cards all over the studio here. And, yes, Soy Teresa reminded me. The man's name was Core. Good night. Good night to everybody. And, golly. My mind is rotting before my very eyes. And, I won't get into that. But I will say, please join us next week. It's episode 69. I get to pick the topic. I wanted to find some funny sexual topic. 69, that'll be a funny one. But no, what we're actually going to be doing is episode 69, circuses. We're Dafu 1312. If you're here next week, then I'll see you. Later, everybody.
TV.